Could this be Sebastian Vettel's most important year in Formula 1? The four-time world champion struggled in 2021, so the question is he finished? Or could this be the year where everybody sees the real Sebastian Vettel? Let's get down to business on Sebastian Vettel's 2022 season. See, here's the thing. Last year, Sebastian Vettel had no race wins. Fair enough, you probably wouldn't argue that case. But he only had one podium, ladies and gentlemen, and he only had 7 points finishes in the 2021 season. And only twice did he finish in double-figured points. Now, a man for Sebastian Vettel's qualities, that just simply isn't good enough. And sure, there's circumstances that obviously lead to this situation, but Sebastian Vettel has to make this year count. It's as simple as that. 2022 is going to be a groundbreaking season for him, whether good or bad. A couple of things we need to think about before we get knee deep into Sebastian Vettel is, will Aston Martin improve in 2022? In 2021, the car was below par, even though it was looking buff on the grid last season, and it's looking to look even better in 2022, although I prefer the pink. Remember, Lawrence Stroll bought Aston Martin and changed the name for the Formula 1 team to win titles. Yes, he was that bold that he said he was going to win titles in Formula 1 under the Aston Martin regime. But you see, it's the technicalities that messed them up last year, and that is a big thing in Formula 1. It may seem small, but look, it cost them the entire year last year. They just done the reveal for their new livery, and it looks nice, it looks promising. But we saw this team last year again, buff, nice car, but what did it do on track? Not much. So I'm questioning whether Aston Martin will be ready for 2022. I'm questioning whether that car will improve, because we have nothing really to base it on unless you're going back to the Racing Point days where they just copycatted a Mercedes. I mean, come on. But the second question we need to ask is, how long has Sebastian Vettel got at Aston Martin? Because in Aston Martin's defense, they could argue that, look, Vettel wasn't good enough in that car. Mind you, Stroll wasn't any better, but will they need to consider looking at better options for their car in order to win these championships Lawrence Stroll talks about? Now, don't get me wrong, Aston Martin are not in a position where they can just pick and choose the drivers that they want to get, but I do wonder how long Sebastian Vettel's got, because the question that comes to mind every single week is, he finished? Let's not act like this is Sebastian Vettel of just 2021. We can go all the way back 2018 when he absolutely fluffed the title. 2019 he looked like a beaten man against Charles Leclerc, and 2020, the less said about that farewell tour, the better. So it's been a long time. 2018 was not a bad year necessarily, but the way he lost the title leaves me asking questions. So this year for me proves whether or not Sebastian Vettel is finished. If we get a Sebastian Vettel like we got in 2021 or 2020, then ladies and gentlemen, it's fair to say Aston Martin need to move on and bring in somebody who's actually going to win them some races. I know it's hard for people to let go of Sebastian Vettel because he's the four-time world champion, and you still think there's some fire in that belly. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, if he has another bad year, I'm so sorry. I am waving the white flag for Sebastian Vettel. And let's not forget, look at who Sebastian Vettel replaced. Now, the argument I was making that you can't pick and choose, so you got to be very smart and strategic in the transfer market when it comes to recruiting drivers. And they had a perfectly good driver in Sergio Perez, who, by the way, had a part to play in Max Verstappen becoming world champion. Red Bull's first driver's champion since Sebastian Vettel back in 2013. By the way, one more year to go and it's 10 years since Sebastian Vettel was champion. Unbelievable. So with you thinking about all of these things, the question then remains, can Sebastian Vettel afford to have another 2021 season in that Aston Martin? My answer is no. He cannot afford to do so. I get this feeling from Lawrence Stroll that he is quite demanding, and he's got expectations that he needs his teams to meet and his drivers as well as his members of staff. So I would beg to differ to see Sebastian Vettel keep his seat in 2023 if he has another 2021 Formula 1 season. Because remember, this just doesn't date back to last year. We go back 2019, 2020. It was not good for Sebastian Vettel. In some cases, he was disrespected. In most cases, he was humiliated. One podium last season, 7 points finishes, no race wins. I mean, Danny Ricciardo got a race win, for crying out loud. And Esteban Ocon. I get it, circumstantial, but nonetheless, Sebastian Vettel this year, head down, visor down. We need to see something serious from you this year. Otherwise, I do fear Sebastian Vettel will not be in Aston Martin. And who knows where he will end up in Formula 1 if that is the case. So how important is the F1 2022 season for Sebastian Vettel? It's very important. Those are my thoughts on Sebastian Vettel in 2022. Coming up this season, we need to see some improvements. I wonder what story will unfold regarding Sebastian Vettel in the Formula 1 2022 season. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Comment down below and like the video if you liking content like this. Let's chew the fat and let's open up this discussion regarding Sebastian Vettel before it's too late. Thank you for watching the video. With that said, people, lights out.